Hello, everyone. Welcome to First Rule of Book Club, which is always talk about book club. This is our teen book club for suggested ages 13 up, brought to you by the Perry County Public Library and me, Miss Jessica Chandler, the Children's Youth Services Librarian. This month's book is by Sabaa Tahir and is called An Ember in the Ashes. If you wish to learn more about the books by Sabaa Tahir, you can go to her website at sabaatahir.com. And she is a New York Times best-selling author. Leah is a slave. Elias is a soldier. Neither is free. Under the Martial Empire, defiance is met with death. Leah and her family do not challenge the empire. They've seen what happens to those that do. But when Leah's brother is arrested for treason, she is forced to make a decision. In exchange for help from rebels who promise to rescue her brother, she will risk her life to spy for them within the Empire's greatest military academy. There, Leah meets Elias, the school's finest soldier, and secretly its most unwilling. He and Leah will soon realize that their destinies are intertwined, and their choices will change the fate of the Empire itself. This is part of a series, like I said. This is the first one. Then you have Torch Against the Night, Reaper at the Gates, A Sky Beyond the Storm. And what I like about this, if you notice, I like books that have a map of the world because it is a fantasy world and there's made up geological places. They like to give us a map. That way you can get a better idea of what the world looks like. And I'm going to read a little bit from this just to give an idea of how it's written. Part 1, The Raid. 1. Leah. My big brother reaches home in the dark hours before dawn, when even ghosts take their rest. He smells of steel and coal and forage. He smells of the enemy. He folds his scarecrow body through the window, bare feet silent on the rushes. A hot desert wind blows in after him, rustling the limp curtains. His sketchbook falls to the floor, and he nudges it under his bunk with a quick foot, as if it's a snake. Where have you been, Darren? In my head, I've courage to ask the question, and Darren trusts me enough to answer. Why do you keep disappearing? Why, when Pop and Nan need you? When I need you? Every night for almost 2 years I've wanted to ask. Every night I've lacked the courage. I have one sibling left. I don't want him to shut me out like he has everyone else. But tonight's different. I know what's in his sketchbook, and I know what it means. You shouldn't be awake, Darren's whisper jolts me from my thoughts. He has a cat's senses for traps. He got it from our mother. I sit up on the bunk as he lights the lamp. No use pretending to be asleep. It's past curfew, and 3 patrols have gone by. I was worried. I can avoid the soldiers, Leah. Lots of practice. He rests his chin on my bunk and smiles Mother's sweet, crooked smile. A familiar look, the one he gives me if I wake from a nightmare or we run out of grain. Everything will be fine, the look says. He picks up the book on my bed. Gather in the Night, he reads the title. Spooky. What's it about? I just started it. It's about a djinn. I stop. Clever. Very clever. He likes hearing stories as much as I like telling them. Forget that. Where were you? Pop has a dozen patients this morning, and I filled in for you because he can't do so much alone, which left Nan to bottle the trader's jams by herself, except she didn't finish. Now the trader won't pay us, and we'll starve this winter. And why in the skies don't you care? I say these things in my head, the smile already dropping off Darren's face. I'm not cut out for healing, he says. Pop knows that. I want to back down, but I think of Pop's slumped shoulders this morning. I think of the sketchbook. Pop and Nan depend on you. At least talk to them. It's been months. I wait for him to tell me that I don't understand, that I should leave him be, but he just shakes his head, drops down into his bunk, and closes his eyes like he can't be bothered to reply. I saw your drawings. The words tumbled out in a rush. and Darren's up in an instant, his face stony. I wasn't spying, I say. One of the pages was loose. I found it when I changed the rushes this morning. Did you tell Nan and Pop? Did they see? No, but... Lie, listen. 10 hells, I don't want to hear this. I don't want to hear these excuses. What you saw is dangerous, he says. You can't tell anyone about it, not ever. It's not just my life at risk. There are others. Are you working for the Empire, Darren? Are you working for the Marshals? He is silent. I think I see the answer in his eyes, and I feel ill. My brother is a traitor to his own people. My brother is siding with the Empire. If he hoarded grain, or sold books, or taught children to read, I'd understand. I'd be proud of him for doing the things I'm not brave enough to do. The Empire raids, jails, and kills for such crimes. But teaching a 6-year-old his letters is an evil. Not in the minds of my people, the scholar people. But what Darren has done is sick. It's betrayal. The Empire killed our parents, I whisper. Our sister. I want to shout at him, but I choke on the words. The Marshals conquered scholars' lands 500 years ago, and since then they've done nothing but oppress and enslave us. Once the Scholar Empire was home to the finest universities and libraries in the world. Now most of our people can't tell a school from an armory. How could you side with the Marshals, Darren? How? It's not what you think, Lia. I'll explain everything, but... He suddenly pauses, his hand jerking up to silence me when I ask for the promised explanation. He cocks his head through the window. Through the thin walls, I hear Pop's snores. Nan shifting in her sleep. A mourning dove's croon. Familiar sounds. Home sounds. Darren hears something else. The blood drains from his face, and dread flashes in his eyes. Lie, he says. Raid. But if you work for the Empire, then why are soldiers raiding us? I'm not working for them. He sounds calm, calmer than I feel. Hide the sketchbook. That's what they want. That's what they're here for. Then he's out the door and I'm alone. My bare legs move like cold molasses. My hands like wooden blocks. Hurry, Lila. Hurry, Lila. Lia. Usually the Empire raids in the heat of the day. The soldiers want scholar mothers and children to watch. They want fathers and brothers to see another man's family enslaved. As bad as those raids were, the night raids are worse. The night raids are for when the Empire doesn't want witnesses. I wonder if this is real, if it's a nightmare. It's real. Lia, move. I drop the sketchbook out the window into a hedge. It's a poor hiding place, but I have no time. Nan hobbles into my room, her hands so steady when she stirs vats of jam. Her braids my hair flutter like frantic birds, desperate for me to move faster. She pulls me into the hallway. Darren stands with Pop at the back door. My grandfather's white hair is scattered as a haystack, and his clothes are wrinkled, but there's no sleep in the deep grooves of his face. He murmurs something to my brother, and then hands him Nan's largest kitchen knife. I don't know why he bothers. Against the Cyric steel of a Marshall blade, the knife will only shatter. You and Darren leave through the backyard, Nan says, her eyes darting from window to window. They haven't surrounded the house yet. No. Nan, I breathe her name, stumbling when she pushes me toward Pop. Hide in the east end of the quarter. Her sentence ends in a choke, her eyes on the front window. Through the ragged curtains, I catch a flash of liquid silver face. My stomach clenches. A mask, Nan said. They've brought a mask. Go, Lia, before he gets inside. What about you? What about Pop? We'll hold them off. Pop gently shoves me out the door. Keep your secrets close, love. Listen to Darren. He'll take care of you. Go. And that is part of An Ember in the Ashes. You can pick up your copy at the Perry County Public Library through our drive-through window, which our hours are 10 to 6, Monday through Friday, and 9 to 4 on Saturday. You can come inside the Perry County Public Library from 12 to 5, Monday through Friday, and 10 to 3 on Saturday. You can, like I said, you can pick these up at the Perry County Public Library, 289 Black Gold Boulevard. Thanks for watching.